Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a special reading. It's the full moon spread that I put out at each full moon, and this is happening on this month on the 27th of July. So this is for the full thunder moon. It's also a blood moon, but it's the full thunder moon, the full moon in Aquarius happening on the 27th. For the reading, I'm using the Celestial Tarot. I had good feedback about these cards. I think that I'll stick to using those for the full moon spread. And this deck is by, sorry, I can't read it from the, it's by Kay Stevenson and Brian Clark. And as you can see, I have already laid out the spread here, and I'll get into it in 1 second. I will give you, as we go through the spread, kind of the general meaning for each card as we work through the messages, but I'll also give you the specific meaning for each of the cards, because this Celestial Tarot, has more of an astrological feel and sort of approach to the cards. So I'll give you the additional messages that go along with the cards in this deck. As I like to remind you, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way to get a truly personalized reading will be to order a private reading from me. If you're interested, you can take a look at the description box below this video, and there you'll find all of the information about how to get in touch with me to order a private reading. Also, I would encourage you to take a look at the separate video that I put out at the same time as this one, which is for the giveaway. So each month at the full moon, I do a separate video, and it's for a one question giveaway, right? That's what I offer each month. If you're interested, watch that to find out how you can participate in the giveaway. And I look forward to getting all the names and doing the drawing. I usually do it a few days after the full moon. And let me think. Oh, one last thing before I get started. I apologize in advance. Tonight it's been raining a lot here, and so there's a chorus of frogs outside in somebody's yard. So you might be able to hear them. Not a whole lot I can do about that, so I apologize for the additional frog noises tonight. Okay, so let's get started here. So we'll begin here with the first card, and this position in the spread, it's the position of what we are releasing at the time of this full moon. And we have, this is the 7 of Cups, and in this particular deck it's called Alrisha, but it's the 7 of Cups. In the position of what we are retaining, what we need to hold on to at the time of the full moon, we have, this is the Princess of Swords, which in the traditional tarot, this would be the Page of Swords. In position 3, which is what we need to release at the time of this full moon, we have the Queen of Cups. And in this deck, it's just fixed water. So the Queen of Cups. Position 4 speaks of what we might have, the energy surrounding us at the time of the full moon. And we have another princess, so another page here. This is the Princess of Wands. So this would be the Page of Wands. And this is Summer. It's called Summer in this particular deck. I don't think I told you back with the Princess of Swords, it's just winter. So we have winter and summer. In the position of what we might be receiving around the time of the full moon, we have the 6 of Pentacles, and it's called Auriga. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. In the position of what might be beginning soon, right? Either, probably soon after the full moon, possibly around the time of the full moon or soon thereafter. We have the Fool. This is Major Arcana, the 0 card of the Major Arcana, and it's linked with Uranus. And sitting in the position of, what is our major lesson at this time? We have the Hermit. This is Major Arcana number 9, and it's linked with Virgo. And I don't usually do this, but I was led to pull an additional card as sort of the overall, this is the lesson, but kind of an overall message for this full moon, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So that's kind of the overall, and I think it, we have the 9 with the Hermit and then the 9 of the Pentacles. So I put them both together there, but I'll get into sort of what they, what they both mean for us. Okay, so beginning with the 7 of Cups, and again, this is in the position of, what we might be releasing. The 7 of Cups is, the suit of Cups is water energy, so it deals with our emotions, our feelings, deals with relationships. And the 7 of Cups it's kind of a dreamy, we usually associate it with like daydreaming, imagination, because it's having a lot of choices or, considering many options, but not really focusing energies on one particular thing in order to, make a decision about that one particular thing or to move forward with that particular thing. So, it's kind of, it's like an up in the air, oh, that would be lovely, but that other thing might also be lovely, and so it's considering many different things, but not really focusing our energies on one particular thing. So we're releasing this. So there might have been, for some of us coming into the full moon, we might have been considering this could, obviously this is going to play out differently for everybody. If this is in the work and career sector, you might have been, sort of weighing up your options. Should I stay in this job? Should I go? Maybe you've been checking out job boards, looking at all the job postings, and sort of thinking, okay, well, can I really see myself in that particular position? Or, or if I want, to move out of the position that I'm currently in, what is it that I need to do? But then, maybe you've just been sort of thinking about it, thinking how it'd be nice, but not actually moving on it. So now we're releasing this. So if there was any type of, indecision or, not being able to make up your mind about something, that's getting released now. So there might be maybe finally you're coming to a point where you're focusing your energies. You're picking one of the cups here, and you're actually, deciding to move on one of these cups, whatever this is for you. Now in this particular deck, it's associated with the knot of Pisces. And so it sort of speaks of how it's important to be bonded, but not bound by sort of emotional ties. Again, this is, emotions, relationships. So we're releasing this. So there might be, associating it with this particular deck, there might be some type of releasing of, being bound to something. Again, this could be a job, it could be a relationship, but it's this cutting of ties, releasing that, cutting this knot, and then, not being bound to something. You're releasing it right now. You're not entangled anymore. You're getting out of something here. As we move to the, what we're retaining, we have this Princess of Swords, so Page of Swords. The suit of Swords deals with, or it's the suit of the mind, right? It has to do with our thoughts, intellect. It's the suit of ideas, communication. And as you know, this full moon is in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is, an air sign, and so this full moon is very much, or it has a lot to do with expanding your mind, gaining new perspectives. I was almost kind of expecting like the Hangman to come out in the reading for some reason, but he didn't. But it's sort of this gaining of a new perspective somehow. But going back to this Page of Swords, so mental, cerebral energy has to do with, and Page is bringing news. So this could definitely be what we're holding on to. There could be news coming in with either this air sign individual, if this is a person. I'm trying to see here. We have a few court cards in our reading. So when we have court cards, they can be actual people who are playing a significant role at this time, around the time of the full moon. If so, then this would typically be more of a younger air sign individual. It's very young, immature energy. Could be a child, could be somebody in their, sort of teenager, early 20s. But of the sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. if it's not a person, pages bring in messages, right? They're usually the bearers of news. So they bring in news of something. And with the swords, we usually think of it as being like news that maybe this is news that can help cut through whatever this, this confusion is, cut through the ties here. It's something that brings in kind of a greater sense of clarity, right? Finding out something that could make you sort of say, oh, okay, now I see clearly and I'm able to make a decision here. In this particular deck is associated with winter, right? With the season of winter. And, this Page of Swords, it can definitely have to do with communication, but it's also about, sort of, again, new ideas coming in, new strategies even for dealing with something. And also, maybe changing your approach to how you communicate, right? Self-examination. It also has to do with, so you could be kind of, going back to this, I think that these two are very much tied because one is, what we're releasing and one's what we're retaining. So I think that, possibly there might be some breakthrough moment around the time of the full moon where you're gaining the clarity, and it's the clarity that's needed to actually say, okay, I'm cutting ties with fill in the blank, with, I've decided to leave this job. I've decided to leave this relationship. I'm not going to be bound to this anymore, to this place anymore. It's that type of energy. So, but it does come from, kind of going within, which, is the lesson at the center of the reading. I know I'm jumping over here, but the Hermit card is all about introspection and going within, right? And so there could be, especially with this, again, being in Aquarius, there could be a lot of, self-examination, introspection, considering all of the new opportunities that might be, there for you. And then maybe taking a different approach, maybe just a need to take a different approach because, the way that you have been doing things, it hasn't been working, and moving forward, it's not going to, which is why, you need to retain, you need to hold on to this new way of thinking, this new way of approaching a situation. Now, in this releasing, we'll be releasing the Queen of Cups. So, for some of you, there could be some type of release associated with, this Queen of Cups individual, if this is an actual person, right? Typically, this would be an older water sign individual, so Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Even though she appears as a queen, it's not gender specific, so male or female. But as the Queen of Cups, usually this is more of, she's an emotional person. She usually kind of speaks her mind. She's somebody who, she's also intuitive. If you're dealing with this person, then she lets you know kind of how she's feeling, right? She's open about her feelings. If she's happy, you'll know it. If she's not happy, you'll know it as well. Now we're releasing this. So again, there could be, going back to this, breaking of ties, there might be some type of release or breaking a tie with an older water sign individual. And since she is a queen, usually the queens and kings, they've kind of mastered their particular suit, which is why, we usually think of them as being older individuals, because to get to that, to the position of queen, she's learned a lot. So she's gone through, she's been, the princess, she's been the prince, and now she's the queen. So this could be an older person. If this isn't a person, then this could be just, the energy sort of surrounding you, and what you're releasing is maybe how you've been handling particular situations. And, since you are being called to maybe take a different posture, take a different, or consider things differently, gain a new perspective, maybe you're releasing if you have been overly emotional, right, in the way that you deal with people or situations. Maybe you're releasing a bit of that. Maybe you're focusing more on this, more rational approach to things as opposed to a more of an emotional approach, because the Queen of Cups, it's very, it's emotional, very emotional energy, and head or heart here, right? We have the head over here, and then the Queen of Cups is very much about that heart decision. I mean, she is fixed water, and so, she's very loving, she's very caring. But again, it's about, feelings, sort of being more about feelings. So we're releasing this. So there could be some type of, I just had a funny word pop into my head. I don't know what that, like, I can't, it's gone. It was something to do with kind of like, when, like with a sponge, and you're kind of just releasing all of, like, squeezing it and getting it all out of you. It's that type of thing. Or maybe you're just releasing this, some type of, therapeutic release of emotion here. But it's about, not letting yourself get so caught up in the emotional side of things, and you're retaining this more rational, seeing things from a new perspective. So that could be, that as well for some of us. All right, let's move over here. So looking at what we have surrounding us, we have another court card. So we have the Princess of Wands. This is the season of summer. So again, could be a person. If so, this would be a younger fire sign individual. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, male or female. But again, a young, immature type of energy if this is a person. And, with the Suit of Wands, it deals with the day-to-day matters. It deals with, it's a suit of fire and passion and excitement, and it's our own drive and determination for the things that we do, right? For the work that we do. It has to do with our own creativity, creative projects and endeavors. And, with this Page of Wands, this usually, if it's a person, this person is very creative. They have a really good way of kind of thinking outside of the box. If there's a situation that they're dealing with, or even a problem, or they're trying to come up with a solution. It's kind of like when you've tried and tried and tried, and then all of a sudden this princess, this Page of Wands, comes in and says, well, have you thought of doing it like this, this, and this? And it might seem, either it seems just kind of too easy, or it might seem just wacky, just way out there, but it actually makes sense. I mean, you look at it and you're like, oh, wow, I've never thought of doing it that way, and I actually have my, one of my children, my youngest child, he's a Leo, and he amazes me. I mean, all the time he comes up with, these just kind of innovative and very creative ways of doing something that's very simple that I would never do that way. As a Capricorn, I wouldn't sort of view the situation the way that he does, or come up with. So it's that type of thing. So it might be, somebody around you who offers, this new way of doing things, or a new creative way of handling a situation. If this isn't a person, this could be, you. Maybe you are feeling, very sort of excited about something. Maybe you're feeling overly, or extra creative. This might have to do with, a new job. It might have to do with a new creative endeavor, or just, it's the card, it's the season of summer. And so, just think about how, in summer, it's like just the warmth of the sun and how nice everything is. We generally sort of feel more upbeat and feel more excited. And so, it does have to do with this sort of youthful eagerness, to begin something, or this youthful excitement at new opportunities. So this could just be, the way that you are, and this is, again, what's surrounding you. So there could be this sort of air of excitement sort of surrounding what might be coming up for you now that you're cutting ties, now that you're, taking this different approach. I think that there's this new sort of exciting energy, and pages also bring in news. So, another interpretation of this card would be news coming in, possibly news of a new job, news to do with a new creative endeavor, news to do with, just something that you're going to feel very excited about here. Now, with this in the, what you are giving, it's interesting because the Six of Pentacles card, it's the card of giving and receiving. So it's funny that it's sitting in the giving position. So for some of you, you might be actually giving at this time. There might not be, mean, it could be, obviously, both meanings for the card. It's either you are receiving, so somebody is giving to you, or you are giving to somebody else. But it's a very balanced. It's the cause and effect. It's the, this give and take type of energy. With it being pentacles, the suit of pentacles is earth energy, and it deals with, the material things in life. So the things we can touch and feel, those tangible things here in the material realm. So we usually associate it with, our work. It's the money that we earn. It's material prosperity, financial finances. It's also, it can have to do with just resources, time, like our time, education, knowledge, family. But again, with the 6, it's a give and take. Sometimes it's referred to as like the mentor-mentee card. And so there's this kind of give and take, thinking that at one point in your life, you are the mentee and you need that knowledge or, whatever the giving and receiving might be. I mean, this can be money, time, again, resources. And then, at other times you are the mentor and you're the one who's giving. So there could be definitely something, somebody's giving you something. And I mean, it can be financial, right? This can be actual money. This can be you going to a bank, requesting a loan. This can be somebody coming to you, offering you money, sort of loaning you money. But a give and take here doesn't necessarily have to be money. Like I was saying, it is also, resources. So we can give of ourselves. We can give of our time to others, right? We can give of our knowledge, impart our knowledge. So it can be, different things. And this can have to do with even like, what should I say? Mentoring, like volunteering. Volunteering at like a sort of a community center. Helping people that way. But there's a give and take here with this 6 of Pentacles card. So since it is giving, this might be you at the time of the full moon, giving of something, of some type of resource to somebody else, at this time. Now, in this particular deck, it's again, it has to do with, resources, talents, and it can be sort of again, sharing of your talent, sharing of your resources. And this might be helping somebody even, because this is Pentacles, and Pentacles is, it's earth energy, it's very grounded energy. You might be giving, in a way that you're sort of offering advice to somebody else. Maybe you're helping to ground that person. Maybe they come to you looking for your advice. That's why I say it doesn't have to be money. I mean, obviously it can be, but there are many forms of giving. Now, I'm really excited about the last 2 cards here because, what might be beginning soon is a brand new journey. We have the Fool card here, and I love that. So, with the Fool is the 0 of the major arcana. So the Fool is all about new beginnings, right? And this is a major new beginning. So, for many of us around the time of this full moon, there might be a brand new cycle beginning in our lives. And this, if we also go back to sort of this cutting ties and picking one of these cups here, right? And possibly using our intellect more and focusing, changing our perspectives. Could be this job offer coming in, right? With the Page of Wands here. It might even, I know this is what supposed to be in the position of giving, but I think that, what we might be receiving even with this new job offer is a greater financial stability. And I think that's really, is echoed with this 9 of Pentacles that was the additional card that I pulled, because this is the card of financial independence. This is the card of, you are able to, or you have that life that you really want, that you've envisioned for yourself. So I think that whatever this new opportunity is, and possibly this brand new cycle, it could be bringing in a much greater sense of financial stability. Maybe things haven't been very balanced. Maybe money has been tight. Maybe things have been quite difficult. And so now with this new cycle beginning, it's going to bring this balance, as far as your materials, finances go. So the Fool, the Fool starts off on his journey, and he is all about this new beginning. He's trusting. He trusts in the new beginning. He's willing to take a leap of faith, to step off the cliff without, he doesn't know what will happen. And yes, I mean, there's always the risk that, things might not work out, but he doesn't even think about that, right? He trusts in this new beginning. He trusts that the universe is providing him with this brand new opportunity here. And so, this is a new journey, and and usually, it comes about quite suddenly, right? It's quite unexpected, with the Fool. And so, it's all about kind of letting go, releasing any doubt and trusting in this new thing that's coming in here. And so he's off to follow a dream. He's off to, to begin this new experience, to start this new job, whatever this new beginning is. And, obviously it's going to play out differently for everybody. Not everybody is looking for a new job. Not everybody, is looking for a new relationship, but there's a new beginning coming in here. And this is a significant new beginning, kind of like, a fresh start, like a fresh start. And it's also, it does show movement, right? Because he sets off on his journey. So there's movement with the Fool card. So for some of you, there could be movement. There could be you moving. It could have to do with, beginning, starting, having a fresh start. Could be even be in a brand new place. And it's, it's a turning point. The Fool is really, it's this new beginning, but it's kind of like a turning point. It's like, a brand new chapter. You're closing the door on, whatever happened prior to this, and you're just starting off. You're starting on this fresh start. And your lesson with the Hermit card, the Hermit is, he's all about going within, right? He's all about, sort of inner, like focusing on that inner knowledge. And it's interesting because in this particular deck, the Hermit is, let me hold it up again. Sorry, it's a bit dark. It's dark right now. The light doesn't always show that well, but it's a woman. And so we have here Virgo, right? The wise virgin. And so on this card, in one hand, she's holding, she has wheat in one hand, right? And then she's sort of spreading seeds with the other hand. And so it has to do with, she's, it's like she's reaped some type of reward here, but she's sowing the seeds for something brand new, right? But more than that, you can kind of see in the background is this traditional figure of the Hermit, following that light, going within. It's a spiritual card, right? So, it's this sort of soul searching. It's a very, it's a time of withdrawing, preparing, reflecting, but then ultimately, understanding that, you have the light within. And so this going within, and it could have to do definitely with this, this new beginning, this fresh start. I think this, that the lesson that's being learned, there might be a lot of soul searching going on for many of us around this full moon. And it's also a card that, it does speak of cycles. It also speaks of being, sort of respecting these cycles and also respecting sort of fate, destiny, that, and being open to, this, whatever change might be coming in. And it's also about going within, and reflecting, planning your next stage, sort of really thinking about where you're going from here, in order to prepare for this major shift, right, on your life path, which is this brand new, this fresh start with the Fool card. And I think the fresh start, is the overall energy, this Nine of Pentacles. This card really, it's a wonderful card because it's a card that, and there's a progression. We go from what we're giving, possibly receiving with the Six of Pentacles to the 9, so this is about, like I was just saying, about having sort of everything that you've wanted. And so maybe money has been a little tight for you, maybe the job that you've been doing, it hasn't been, you haven't had the sort of the money that you need to pay for all your bills. You've wanted, greater financial stability. So I think with this, whatever this soul searching, this new beginning, the Fool coming in as this fresh start, is going to bring that to you here, because, it's a very grounded energy. And, there's a progression here. We go from the 6 all the way to the 9. So, definitely whatever this fresh start is, I think that it's all about being open, being open to it, accepting whatever this new beginning is, because I think it could be very beneficial. I think possibly this job offer coming in, if that's what, for some of us, this could be a job offering, but it's going to bring greater financial stability here. So, it looks very positive. I think that this full moon, it could be quite significant for many of us. But, sort of recapping here, possibly, either choosing one particular thing, going with that, could be this new job offer, needing to release any type of, the sort of wishy-washy thinking, or possibly cutting ties to a job, to a person, to a relationship, maybe needing to change our perspective on something, be more rational as opposed to, going with our emotions, try to view things more rationally. Could have news coming in, that's what we're receiving, money coming into us as well, and then fresh start, kind of soul searching about this fresh start, but ultimately greater financial stability. So I do hope that the messages have helped you. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful full moon. Bye for now.